So I guess we can start the press conference now if everyone's ready to go. We have all the principals up here on the dais. This is something that's exciting to announce. The next Triple G fight. This is Triple G Rolls. The first fight of his multi-year deal with DAZN. We're very excited to be partnering with DAZN. They've really committed financially to the sport of boxing, putting together the best fights in the sport of boxing. This will be June 8th at Madison Square Garden. This is where we built Triple G's career here in the United States. So it's, even though he lives here in LA and he's got a huge fan base here in LA, and he's fought many times in LA, this almost feels like a homecoming, going back to New York, going back to the Garden where he sold out the Garden 2 times. He hasn't fought there for over 2 years since the Danny Jacobs fight. So this is a lot of new things. This is the first non-title fight that we're working together with on Triple G. We're not going to dwell on the past. I know there's a lot of opinions of who won the 2 fights with Canelo. We certainly have our opinion that he's still undefeated and is still should be considered the best middleweight in the world. But we consider him the people's champion. So this is really the return of the people's champion. And when you have a fighter that's undefeated like Steve Rolls, who's hungry, who can take everything that Triple G has accomplished in his career, on one night, June 8th, these are the most dangerous type of fights that Triple G can be involved in at this time. Naturally, there's a potential 3rd fight with Canelo down the road, but if Gennady overlooks someone like Steve, it's one of those classic situations that could really upset the apple cart. And I know that's what Lou DiBella, Steve's promoter at DiBella Entertainment, had mentioned yesterday at the press conference in New York, and we certainly feel that way on our side. If Gennady isn't 100% for this fight, you never know how that performance is going to be June 8th. With that, I'd like to, the sponsors are such an important part of these type of events. Fighting on the big stage, the most famous arena in the world, the Mecca of boxing, sponsored by Tecate. It's also sponsored by Chivas. Tecate has made such an investment also in the sport of boxing, supporting these events. They have Triple G is an ambassador for Tecate, so we really appreciate that relationship. He's also a brand ambassador for Chivas. So with that, I want to bring up Kim Haney. She's a sponsorship and activation manager for Chivas, and they've been very, very supportive, not only for the events, but on social media, marketing, and activation. So I want to bring up Kim to say a few words.
Chivas is a proud partner of Triple G, and we're a proud supporter of the Triple G Rolls fight. Chivas has partnered with Triple G since 2017, and in our minds, no present-day fighter blends loyalty with dedication like Triple G. He personifies the Chivas spirit of shared success and dedication, both inside and outside of the ring. For Triple G versus Steve Rolls, we'll be amping up activation in the tri-state area. Obviously, we're excited. Everyone's coming home to MSG in New York. It's our backyard. So between now and fight week, you'll see a lot of activity around fight week, and then obviously at MSG. So on behalf of the Chivas team, we want to wish both Steve Rolls and our partner Triple G the best of luck. Cheers.
The tagline for the sponsorship of Chivas of these boxing events, the Triple G boxing events, is winning the right way. And sitting right here is somebody that personifies winning the right way and really being an ambassador for the sport of boxing. With that, we'll go back here to I want to introduce someone who now represents a company, as I mentioned, with DAZN, a company that has really made a huge financial commitment to the sport of boxing. They've really changed the landscape, being able to watch fights, streaming on really any device, whether it's your TV at home, whether it's your laptop, your phone. They want to make sure the way that people consume sports, not only here in the United States, but internationally, is content is going to be available to them regardless of what device they're going to be watching it on. And they've really done away, quite frankly, whenever Canelo fights, whenever Anthony Joshua fights, whenever Triple G fights, you know, being on pay-per-view, DAZN has really changed the game in that regard. So I'd like to bring up the Executive Vice President of North America, Mr. Joe Markowski.
Thanks, Tom, and thank you to all our friends in the media for joining us here in Los Angeles this afternoon. As Tom's mentioned, it's a huge moment for our business, our continued growth here in this market. Boxing is absolutely central to what we're trying to do in North America, and to be successful in that venture, we need to be working with the top names in the sport. We're lucky and proud to have already brought onto the platform Anthony Joshua, Canelo Alvarez, and with the addition of Gennady Golovkin, I strongly believe that we have the three biggest names in the sport now attached to the platform and committing their futures to us as we grow our business here in North America and around the world, with boxing at the core of that. This fight is part of a tremendously strong spring and summer schedule for our business here in North America. We're 10 days away now from what I believe to be one of the biggest fights of the year in Canelo-Danny Jacobs in Las Vegas on May the 4th, the Cinco de Mayo weekend. That's quickly followed by Anthony Joshua's debut in the US at Madison Square Garden, and the following week back at MSG with Gennady and Steve Rolls. And we're tremendously excited about all of that. I think the value we are bringing to boxing fans and fight fans here in the US is tremendous. Unquestionable value, across our monthly option of $19.99 and our $99.99 annual pass, which gives fans more than 100 fight nights a year for the cost of one pay-per-view under the traditional model. So tremendous value. We're tremendously excited to get behind that from a marketing perspective, and crucially to be adding Gennady to our platform is tremendously exciting for us as well. To Mr. Rolls, we wish you the best of luck. We're standing ahead of a major opportunity for you. We wish you the best of luck in that, and we look forward to welcoming all members of the media and our friends back to New York in early June. So thank you very much, and see you soon.
Thank you, Joe. I mean, that lineup that he just mentioned, and also want to highlight this Friday is the rematch of Estrada Rungvisai. It's a fight last year that we promoted here in LA, and that's coming up on DAZN Friday night. But then you look at Canelo, Danny Jacobs, you look at Anthony Joshua, you look at Triple G, especially Anthony Joshua, Triple G. Not only is it back-to-back at MSG, two of the biggest names in the sport of boxing, but back-to-back on DAZN, which I don't know if it's been a long time since a network platform has had two big names like that back-to-back. So we're excited about that. We're excited about this lineup coming up. We're all in with DAZN to make their platform as successful as possible from the Triple G side, and we're just excited to this new opportunity that Triple G has. We never have a Triple G fight without someone entering the ring with him. We have to give a lot of credit to Steve Rolls. There was no hesitation. In fact, as Lou mentioned yesterday, Lou had called me a number of times in the past, when we were looking for to put a fight together with Triple G, and this just happened to be the right time, at the right moment for Steve. He's an undefeated fighter. He was part of the Canadian national team. Also has a history with Emmanuel Stewart. We have a high respect for Emmanuel. Emmanuel naturally was a longtime trainer of Vladimir Klitschko, who we've been involved with a lot of fights on, and Emmanuel he had an eye for talent. And when I heard that Steve had been involved with Emmanuel, you know, that said it all for me right there. As I mentioned, this is a huge opportunity for him. He's promoted by DeBella Entertainment. Lou was at the press conference yesterday in Madison Square Garden. Today we have Ron Rizzo representing DeBella Entertainment. To speak on behalf of Team Rolls is going to be Todd Christie. I want to introduce Todd to come up to say a few words.
My name is Todd Christie. I'm Steve's manager and lawyer based in Toronto. We don't have a lot to say other than to sincerely thank DAZN and Triple G Promotions for this incredible life-changing opportunity for Steve Rolls. Obviously like to thank Gennady personally as great a champion as he is in the ring. He's been a real professional and a true gentleman, not only generally, but with regards to this promotion and to Steve personally. So he's a great ambassador for the sport and a real example to up-and-comers like Steve as to how to conduct themselves outside of the ring as well as inside of it. So thank you, Gennady. Let me be very clear that Steve understands the magnitude of the challenge in front of him. But he is an undefeated fighter. He's a two-time national champion. He has an extensive amateur experience and has fought all over the world. Obviously, Gennady is is in the mix in the conversation for being, the best middleweight of maybe the last 40 or 50 years. But he's a human being, and Steve's going to be prepared. I think it was Coach Herm Edwards, if I'm not mistaken, who once said, "We play to win the game." So Steve's not here to get his picture taken and take in the sights. He's coming to win this fight, and he's going to be prepared. And like I said, Gennady's a man, and I know he's going to prepare himself extremely hard as well. But if he's not at his best, I can assure you that we're not going to be the only ones here that are that will be, people will be surprised by the results. Let me just put it that way. So with that, again, I'd like to thank DAZN, thank Triple G Promotions, thank Gennady, and if you have any questions, we'll be happy to take them at the appropriate time. Thank you.
With that, I want to bring up someone who I actually just met yesterday, but I have to say, as Todd says, Steve and his whole team really conducts themselves very professionally. There was no pushing and shoving at the press conference yesterday to sell tickets. Gennady is always the consummate professional representing the sport of boxing. And Steve, I have to give a lot of credit to, also a consummate professional, the way he conducted himself, the way he made himself available to the media. This is a big event for both guys. When you fight at the most famous arena in the world, the Mecca of Boxing, it's a huge opportunity for Steve to show what he can do under the brightest lights of the sport of boxing. And again, this is in one night. He can go from undefeated Steve Rolls to the guy that beat Triple G. And with that, there's a lot of pressure. But again, the way he's reacted, it says it all. So it's my pleasure to introduce, from Toronto, Canada, undefeated Steve Rolls.
Thanks, Tom. First off, I want to thank Triple G Promotions. I want to thank DeBella Entertainment, and I want to thank DAZN for giving me this opportunity. I know as of recently, a lot of you are unfamiliar with me. I know there's been a lot of questions about the choice of Triple G's opponent. Let me tell you, I'm somebody that works very hard to be here, to be in this position. I've been through many ups and downs throughout my career, fights that fell through, fights that I wanted that simply I just couldn't get. I really believe that, you know, if I was showcasing the fights my team and I were after, the fans and the critics would find this matchup much more intriguing than it's getting credit for. But at the end of the day, I know what I'm capable of, and I know this is going to be a much better fight than people are expecting. I have nothing but respect for Gennady Golovkin. He's been a dominant champion force in the game for some time now. You know, but at the end of the day, like Todd, my manager, said, he's a man, just like me. And we get two men in the ring, anything can happen. I really look forward to seeing everybody June 8th, and we'll see you then. Thanks.
Thank you, Steve. So, here we are, the People's Champion. Someone who I consider still to be the best middleweight in the world, to be undefeated. Someone who sold out Madison Square Garden twice, sold out the Forum twice, who holds the all-time sales record for revenue and number of people at the StubHub Center, the former StubHub Center. I think it's Dignity Health Center now, but that arena down there in Carson sold out T-Mobile twice. Yeah, that one. Sold out T-Mobile twice, and he sold out the O2 Arena. So this is really a global ambassador for the sport of boxing. It's my honor, my pleasure to introduce the long-reigning middleweight champion, probably still has the highest knockout ratio, and 20 title defense of the middleweight championship, Gennady Triple G Golovkin.
Thank you, Tom. First of all, I want to say thank you very much, God, for this point, you know, for this chance for me. Go back again. I'm very happy. I'm very happy right now. As I feel, I go back. Thank you. Thanks, the Zone, of course. It's the biggest platform for boxing, not just for me, for everybody. Of course, thank you very much who support me, my partners, my sponsors, my people, my family. Thank you guys. You know, I'm very enjoying this time. I listen to Steve, he said a lot. You know, I respect him. This is exactly what I need, why I have a fight with him. Absolutely, I respect your team, I respect your, you know, I'm honored why I need you. Thank you guys. Guys, I come back. Just June 8th, Madison Square Garden, Knockout Boxing. Please welcome. If you're not coming, just watch the Zone live. I promise we bring amazing show. I believe Steve, he ready for good quality fight. Please, don't miss my fight. Thank you very much.
I also want to announce that the tickets are on sale. We price the tickets very reasonably. We'll be announcing the undercard here shortly. The tickets start at $50. And Gennady sold out Madison Square Garden twice, and we expect another sellout on June 8th. If we want, we can open it up to question and answers. Fred, you might as well, since both Steve and Gennady are here. We can take a few questions. Do we have a wireless? We'll take a few questions while they're up here on the podium, and then we can always break down into some one-on-one interviews.
Gennady Golovkin with Native Angelino. First of all, thank you for being in Los Angeles. You're very loved here. And I just kind of want to get your feeling on how do you feel to finally get back in the ring after figuring out what network you're going to go into.
Thank you for your questions. I feel great. I feel like I'm 15 years old. Like I have a dream. Right now I don't have nothing. I'm hungry. I want to go back. I remember my situation like a year ago. Exactly, I understand what Steve Rolls feeling right now. It's more dangerous for me because I remember my situation the same. I'm very happy. I'm enjoying my time with my team, all my friends. I want to go back. Thank you.
Any other questions? Yeah, both guys right now. So we can, what we'll do is, there you go.
Gennady, first of all, describe Steve Rolls. What have you seen in him? What has your team seen in his style? And Steve, how can you describe Gennady?
Well, Gennady, he's a tremendous champion. Very strong. He can be aggressive. He's somebody to me that can do it all. He can box if he needs to. He has a very good jab, as well as if he needs to put pressure and cut off the ring, he can do so.
Can I speak Russian? Viana, she translates. Sure. She helped me. Я думаю, Стив заслуживает этого места, этого боя, так как он единственный, кто сделал максимум для этого боя. Его команда сделала максимум для боя, из-за этого он получил этот бой. Мое уважение к нему.
I think that Steve deserves this fight, and I think he deserves this fight because he and his team did all possible to make this fight happen.
Bernardo?
Steve, this is an opportunity to change your life. It's what every fighter dreams of. How do you deal with the magnitude of what this fight would do for you, your family, in the future?
It's just one of those things that, I'm still trying to take in, but with all the thoughts running through my head, I must remain calm. I understand that, this is a tremendous opportunity for me. But I gotta stay composed, and I gotta make sure that I gotta do everything I can to focus on this fight. I'm gonna put everything I have in this fight. I can't let the thoughts and all the other things of what could happen or this and that get the best of me right now. I'm just focused on one thing, and that's Golovkin and June 8th.
Gennady, what was the biggest learning experience that you had over the last few months throughout this negotiation process? Take us through what that process was like and what you learned getting out of it.
Я думаю, я научился многому, так как мы открыли промоутерскую компанию, во главе которой стою я, и так как я еще действующий спортсмен, мы будем делать и продвигать нашу промоутерскую компанию, то есть будем отталкиваться от нашего опыта, то есть нам есть, в принципе, о чем поговорить, мы можем это сделать позже.
I think I learned a lot. We opened the promoting company, and I'm the head of this company, but still as a still acting sportsman, we are going to work a lot on that promoting of our promotion company, and we have a lot of things to talk about in the future.
Look down, look up. Can we move everybody over? Come over one step to be in the middle. There we go, right here. Steve, get a little closer. Steve, get each of you to hold up a fist, please. And face off, please. Everybody good? Okay, we're going to do one-on-one.